Howdy folks. In front of me I have 3 glasses of water. Sounds like a magic trick, doesn't it? Maybe it is. What I've got here is 3 samples from the water that I've used for today's brew. That there is straight tap water, which I used to fill up the robo brew before doing today's brew. This has been sitting for about coming up on 4 hours. About 11 o'clock this morning I took this out of the robo brew. Not long thereafter I took this sample. This is the water after it had been treated with calcium sorbate, with vitamin C powder and a little bit of sodium metabisulfate. Treated to get rid of the chlorine and chloramine that are in the water. Now, I don't know how well this is going to show up because I've just knocked over my big studio light, for want of a better word, for the umpteenth time, and finally it's actually managed to land on something other than just its edges, and the globe is broken. So, and I don't carry a spare because they're a 30 odd, well, when I bought the bloody thing they were $30 globes, they're probably fucking $50 now. But yeah, I don't have a spare one, so I can't light up any more than what the bloody off the roof lighting, which isn't great. But to me there is just a slight difference in the opacity of the water. Where this seems, it just seems to have this very, very slight, like a grayness to it, where that one, for me, is just like, because it's very, very, very bloody tiny. Anyway, last glass there is the water which has been treated prior to the mash, so it's got all the minerals that I added to the mash in it, and this was taken just before I mashed in. So this had sat, well, doesn't matter now because it sat for a while, but this had sat for 10 minutes before I took it. So, but these were taken, the water was warm. This was, because it was already started, the water was starting to heat up, and obviously this was a mashing temp, so I've had to let them all cool back to room temp for a comparison. So I don't know how much that's going to throw out any sort of taste. More so probably here, because it's had, like I said, it's now had 4 hours for any chlorine or whatnot to sort of blow off. But anyway, yeah. Sure, I don't confuse myself here. Now, and again, like I said, this has been 4 hours, it's not a lot of colour, but there does seem to be a bit of a nose on that untreated water that isn't there. Now that's got a bit more nose in here, but obviously it's got chemicals in it. It's got the mineral, not chemical, it's got minerals added to it. So that's obviously gonna happen. But this does, again, there seems to be this little difference between the tap water and just the treat of chlorine. But anyway, that's the tap water. We haven't got bad tap water in it. Not the greatest tap water, certainly not the quality of most regional centres, most major cities in the country are certainly going to have better water than we have got here. I am lucky, I do have probably some of the best water in our supply due to the nature of where we are. We are quite deep on the system. We are near the end of the lines. The lines only run as far as I'm aware, about another 600 metres up the road from where we are. We are on over the crest of the hill which leads down into town. So our water comes up a fair sized hill and then comes over the top and stops just up the road. So we're in town's always had quite a heavy dosing of chlorine, and quite often water can be quite cloudy. Our water's always, you know, fairly clear, apart from, like I said, this little smokiness that's sort of in it at the moment. But taste-wise, it's pretty good. We don't drag over a lot of chlorine. Oh, look, that's worlds apart. That really is. That's very noticeable, the difference. That is very clean. Like there's taste there, but nothing like that. It's got that tap water taste. Yeah, it's water, but it's not. Yeah, it's not as clean as it, not as crisp and clean and fresh as it could be. That certainly tastes much more like a clean thing you'd expect to be getting. Yeah. So certainly shows that treatment certainly works, and works very well. So certainly something to think about. And that's it. Now this is treated. It's got a variety of sulfates, chlorides, salt, baking soda. Well, it's a fair mix in this. Doing amber ale, it's got a fairly wide band of mineral additions. Nothing significant, no huge numbers of anything. Okay, you can taste that there's something in there. But it's very different to what you're getting just with the chlorine, where that it's after like tasting these two, it's almost like a stale sort of a flavour. So even though I'm picking up the extra mineral in that water, it's not the same. Doesn't have that staleness. It's still reasonably fresh. You know, it's got, well, it has got a taste. Yes, it's not necessarily a bad taste. But the big thing here is that we're taking the chlorine out to avoid the issues that the chlorine can have within the mash, and adding these, which then are going to add their own little thing within the brew itself. So comparing these two, as far as flavour and taste go, are pretty much irrelevant, because we know that if we brew with that clean water, it's not going to do a lot with the mash. But we know that the chloride and the sulfates that are in this water are going to contribute to the beer that I'm making. And look, I'd drink that water over that water any day of the week. That's certainly the preferred option of these three, as far as water goes, and that's look, I'm not going to, it's not bottled water, it's not quite there, but that's pretty good, considering it's taken a matter of maybe 15 cents worth of vitamin C powder and some sodium mat, and had to sit for 10 minutes to get that water. To get really any better than that, I'm gonna either need to buy bottled water, which is going to increase the cost of me brew, or I need to get a filter of some kind set up in the house. As a family who don't drink tap water that much, I'm not really worried about going to the trouble of getting a filtration system. But I know now, without a doubt, that if I'm knocking out that chlorine / chloramine with just a simple addition before I brew, I'm doing pretty much the best I can for my beer and the best I can for the water. So yeah, definitely look at treating your water. That's it. Calcium absorbate, vitamin C powder. You can get it from pretty much any chemist. You can get it online. Cheapest I've found is actually Chemist Warehouse is fairly cheap, and even online they're I think pretty sure they're the cheapest I've found. It's not cheap to buy initially. You'll pay somewhere around $20 for a small pouch, but it will last you for quite a while. You only use 0.1 of a gram per litre, so on a standard batch you're using about 3 grams. So if you buy a 250 gram bag, you're going to get 80 brews out of it. So it's cost effective. It's easy to use. Sodium metabisulfate, again, you're going to pay a little bit of money to get it initially, but you use it even less. 0.01 of a gram per litre, or 1.1 of a gram per 10 litres. So on your standard batch 30 litre of mash water, you're using 0.3 of a gram of sodium metabisulfate. Tiny amount. So your bag of that's going to last you an absolute bloody donkey's age. You'll get hundreds of brews out of a bag of sodium met. You can buy Campton tablets. I wouldn't do it. It's far more expensive buying Campton tablets than it is to buy just straight sodium metabisulfate. But certainly worth it. Get yourself some nice clean brewing water, easy, at home. You ain't got to wait, put your water in, wait 10 minutes. So while it's warming up, put tap water in your mash tun, in your robo brew, your fermenter, where it is you're mashing up. Stick your calcium sorbate, your sodium met in, and warm up the mash temperature. By the time you got the mash temperature, your water's clean. So all good. Incorporate that into your brewing. Comments, questions down the bottom as per always. Big shout out to the Patreons. Thank you guys for your support. If you're a subscriber of the channel, thank you. If you're not, hit the subscribe button down the bloody bottom there. Ring the bell, get notified when there's a new video. If you like what's going on, give me a thumbs up. But for now, till I see you on the next video, we're brewing beer, drinking beer, or talking beer, or drinking water, talking water. Good brewing.